In January 20th, 1961, John Fitzgerald Kennedy became the 35th President of the United States of America, a president who served only 2 years as president due to tragically being assassinated on November 22nd, 1963. However, during the years when Kennedy did serve as a president, he showed great prowess regarding his field, with many great ideas and stands of views. So how did he take a stand? Before that question is answered, let's take a history dive into Kennedy's early years. He was born as the second child in a nine-sibling family in the year 1917 of May 29th. Although being an immense family, Kennedy's mom and dad were invested with their children, especially his father, who had great expectation for his children and always thought that winning was everything. This became Kennedy's philosophy throughout his life, and would get very emotional whenever he lost. This didn't reflect on how he worked at school, often being reported as a vexatious student, but had no troubles making friends. The problem was that Kennedy only showed proficient work on two subjects he enjoyed, English and history. Kennedy was very brilliant, but only showed his brilliance at rare occasions. Clever, individualist mind, said his headmaster. Despite being a mediocre student, after graduating from Chocolate Rosemary Hall, he went to Harvard, pursuing his interests, where he realized that his potential when he became an upperclassman and became serious. When he graduated, he got his thesis published into a book called Why England Slept. Soon after graduating, he entered the Navy. Kennedy was assigned as a commander of a patrol torpedo boat, while his brother was assigned as a pilot. On August 2nd, 1943, his boat was rammed by a Japanese warship. The boat split in two. Kennedy survived, saving a sailor and leading the rest of the survivors to land, earning him 2 medals. On the other hand, his brother wasn't as lucky as Kennedy was. Joseph P. Kennedy Jr. was killed in action, serving as land-based patrol bomber pilot in World War II. Joseph was the son perceived to be the President of the United States. Kennedy took this upon himself to be what his brother was supposed to be the President of the United States. Before Kennedy became the President, Democrat in the House of Representatives, where he served 6 years from 1947 to 1953, and then was elected as junior senator from 1953 to 1960 from Massachusetts on the improper activities in labor and management field, where he held public hearings to investigate corruption in American labor unions. It wasn't until on July 13th, 1960, he was nominated as a candidate for president. John F. Kennedy's slogan was a new leader for the 60s. He won the Democratic nomination with the final state called Wyoming. And then later he chooses Texas Senator Lyndon Johnson as his running mate for vice president. Sworn in as the 35th President of the United States on January 20th, 1961, winning the electoral vote but barely winning the popular vote. Now that we are done with Kennedy's backstory, it's best we move on. Let's get something out of the way before we show his stands, to say that everyone makes mistakes, but we are not machines. Kennedy made mistakes too, like supporting the invasion of at the Bay of Pigs, which consisted of US-trained Cuban counter-revolutionists who were defeated in 3 days by Cuba's own army. Even though he was blundered, he recovered, learning to make better choices, showing us that his stands are of trial and error and learning from his own. So what did Kennedy stand for? Well, Kennedy did not just stand up to one action, but two, both of which greatly contributed in helping multiple cultures. This was probably notably shown both during the Ich bin ein Berlin speech at the opposing of nuclear testing. What was it that made Kennedy's speech to stand for? The speech was the hope of many Germans. The speech that Kennedy brought was to tell them that they will be, and he would try to make them free. That they will be free from the communism that lives in Germany, to be able to live in peace, being able to leave and not be kept in, and much of their effort will not become to waste. For they are strong, he says.
Besieged for 18 years, that still lives with the vitality and the force and the hope and the determination of the city of West Berlin.
Ich bin ein Berliner, or I am a Berliner. He stood for them, saying that there will be peace in Germany. He didn't do it for himself, but he did it for the people of Germany and Berlin. Kennedy stood against the testing of nuclear bombs, supporting the banning of nuclear weapon testing, taking a strong stand against it. However, the problem was the Soviet Russians continued secret underground testing, making gains in nuclear technology. Kennedy pursued against renewing the testing of nuclear weapons, challenging the Soviet Union with not to an arms race, but to a peace race. Being unsuccessful, Kennedy did not give up. While American testing resumed on, Kennedy shared, "It is insane that two men, sitting on opposite sides of the world, should be able to decide to bring an end to civilization." Kennedy reopened a dialogue on banning nuclear testing. Kennedy announced a new round of high-level arms negotiations with the Russians, calling for an end of the Cold War. "If we cannot end our differences, at least we can help make the world a safer place for diversity." The Soviet government broadcasted a translated speech, allowing it to be printed in Soviet press. With the negotiations open, Kennedy selected Averell Harriman to negotiate. Succeeding after 12 days of negotiation, nuclear testing was banned. The two nations agreed to ban testing in the atmosphere, in space, and underwater. The Limited Nuclear Test Ban Treaty was signed in Moscow. While Kennedy convinced the fearful public and a divided Senate to support the treaty, the Senate approved the treaty. Kennedy signed and ratified the treaty on October 7th of 1963. However, as we all learned about John F. Kennedy in history class, we know that he was assassinated on November 22nd, 1963. We could talk more of what could have been from this president, the kinds of stands he would have made, possibly history changing. Sadly, this is where we have to end it at, on a president we believe shaped and helped make our society better, not only benefiting others. That's why we decided on John Fitzgerald Kennedy was the best person, who took the biggest stand, and I hope you do too.